Here's a secret that very few people seem to know about. On August 15th, 1977, we, humankind, may have been contacted by aliens. No, wait, come back. Hear me out. On that night, an astronomer named Jerry Amon was working on the SETI project, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence project, at Ohio State University. And out of nowhere, and I really do mean out of nowhere, came this 72-second narrowband signal. Based on the signature of this signal, it couldn't have been a satellite or anything else of earthly origin. It seemed to emanate from the constellation Sagittarius in an area called the Chi Sagittarii group. But it wasn't a pulsar or some other natural spaceborne phenomenon. This signal, strong and clear with a steady climb and steady fall, was heard at 1420 megahertz, and that's important because that's the frequency that a hydrogen atom resonates. And scientists think that if there's going to be a frequency that any civilization might use to say, hey, is anybody out there? It would probably be 1420 megahertz. This has become known as the WOW signal, after a notation that Dr. Amon wrote. He wrote WOW next to a computer printout that recorded the radio outburst. Now, many people have searched for the signal since then, using bigger and better and more sensitive radio telescopes. But so far, nothing. And so far, no one has been able to come up with a definitive explanation of what came our way on the night of August 15th, 1977. And it has not been heard since. This is a genuine space mystery. That's a strange secret that the universe has yet to give up. But on this show, we have no trouble breaking open some secrets about rock.
This is The Secret History of Rock with Alan Cross.
Wasn't that a freaky story? All these years later and all these advances in technology, and we still don't know what happened during the 72 seconds in the summer of 1977. I think that's just crazy. Welcome again. I'm Alan Cross, and although I can't tell you anything more about the WOW signal, I do have lots of information for you about music. We're going to spend some time looking at alt-rock's greatest instrumentals. There's a look back to 2001, and what happens when rock stars stop being rock stars? What kind of jobs do they get into then? I want to start by talking about a trend in CDs that's been going on for some time now. The compact disc saved the music industry from the post-disco depression in the early 1980s. We were all convinced to rebuy all these albums that we already had on vinyl. We upgraded to this new digital format at great cost to us and at great profit to the recording industry. When CD sales started to go into a death spiral, labels began coming up with ways to get us to buy new versions of the same CDs that we already owned. Some of these CDs promised better sound because of careful remastering. Other discs came in big box sets with unreleased material and booklets and little pieces of swag. But then there are the reissues that feature bonus tracks that weren't on the original editions. I'm not sure if I'm right about this, but I think the first band I seem to notice doing this was the Ramones. They began re-releasing new editions of all their albums, each with additional tracks that weren't available anywhere else. Plenty of groups have done this since, and if you're a fan of owning physical media, actually being able to hold something that you purchased in your hand, some of these reissues are worth the extra expense. I have here an edition of The Pretenders' 1980 debut record that was reissued in an extended version in 2006. There are two discs in this package, and the first is exactly what you'll find on the original CD, which itself was a digital copy of the vinyl that came out that January so many decades ago. Listening to this new disc offers up some new things. First of all, it's more clear, there's better highs, less background noise. But what makes this worth buying for the Pretenders fan is this second disc, this bonus disc that comes with unreleased demos, radio performances, and live concert recordings. And before this disc came out, I'd never seen most of this stuff, even on dodgy bootlegs. Here's a sample. This is a studio demo recorded on February 6th, 1978, some 23 months before the Pretenders' debut album came out. It's a cool little bit of Pretenders history.